Hey, I'm Heather. I'm a sexuality empowerment coach, and this week I wanted to talk about a word that we use a lot around here that you might not be familiar with, and that word is sex positive. Now, a lot of times when people hear that word, they jump straight to pro sex, but that's one of the myths I want to actually dispel this week because pro sex and sex positive, not the same thing. So sex positivity is kind of a philosophical and like worldview kind of place that you're operating from when you walk in the world. It's a newer word and a newer term. So my definition is by all means not the be all and end all of definitions. And if you're interested in this term and this concept and this movement, I would really recommend checking out some more authors. I'm a fan of Dr. Carol Queen and Nina Hartley and Susie Bright. Those are all authors that have written on sex positivity that I really enjoy, and you might as well. So, sex positive as a philosophy views sex as a potentially positive part of our lives. So, sex isn't, separate from our health, separate from our lives. It's intertwined and part of our health and part of our lives and part of how we do. Um, People who are sex positive also would view owning your sexuality as key to owning your empowerment and owning your power as a person. That doesn't necessarily mean to say that all sexual experiences are positive or that sex is always a positive force in people's lives, right? This doesn't deny the existence of abuse, patriarchy, racism, all these things that affect how people get to own their sexuality in this world. Okay, so sex positive doesn't mean, oh, everything's happy all the time. It just means that sex is a potentially positive force, and that's a whole part of your life that's key to your empowerment. Sex positivity is also founded on the principles of radical acceptance towards people's expression of their sexuality, provided it's between consenting partners. So that's looking at really taking a practice of less judgment around what sexual acts people are doing and more how people are doing those acts. Are they consensual? Are they abusive? Are they bringing, a positive impact to people's lives, or are they a destructive force in people's lives? So we don't really care in the sex positive movement how Billy or Susie or Mary or Bob have their sex, but we care about how that sex impacts their lives and their partners and the people around him. So I hope that gives you kind of a working point to start with. And this is a really fascinating term and a really fascinating movement. So again, I would encourage you to Google it and learn more about it and read some of the authors I mentioned. Next week, I'm going to talk about sex neutrality, which is another term that I think people are even less familiar with than sex positive, but it's one of my favorite terms. So I hope I'll talk to you again next week. And I would love to hear your comments below about what sex positivity means to you. So comment below or email me, heather@AuthenticSexualYou.com. And I hope to have a conversation soon. Bye.